September 9th, 1995, MTV Video Music Awards. Radio City Music Hall. Michael Jackson is about to perform a 12-minute medley in front of hundreds of millions watching worldwide. But backstage, something is terribly wrong. Michael's ankle is destroyed. He can barely walk. His dancers are watching their mentor fall apart. What happens over the next 12 minutes will haunt Michael for the rest of his life. Because this wasn't just a bad performance. This was the moment Michael realized he'd pushed too far. 30 years later, his dancers are finally breaking their silence. And what they reveal will change how you see the king of pop forever. This was 2 years after the allegations. Michael's reputation was shattered. The radio stopped playing him. MTV pulled his videos. The 95 VMAs was his comeback, his redemption. So Michael did what he always did. He rehearsed obsessively. 6 weeks for 12 minutes. Lavelle Smith Jr., his lead dancer, said they rehearsed 18 hours a day. No breaks, no complaints. If you couldn't keep up, you were out. Travis Payne said Michael was possessed during rehearsals, completely consumed by making this the greatest performance anyone had ever seen. The dancers loved it at first. This was Michael Jackson. If he wanted perfection, you gave him perfection. But then the problem started. Michael's ankle, injured years earlier during the Dangerous tour, started swelling. Bad. By week 3, he could barely walk. His doctor told him to rest. Michael refused. We don't have time. By week 5, Michael was limping constantly. Travis said they started modifying choreography, removing jumps and spins. Michael hated it. No, we're doing it the original way. I can handle it. They'd run the routine. Michael would land wrong. His face would twist in pain, but he wouldn't stop. The dancers started dancing through their own injuries too. One said, "If Michael can dance on a destroyed ankle, I can dance on a pulled hamstring." Pain didn't matter. Perfection mattered. By the time they got to New York, everyone was running on fumes. September 9th, Radio City Music Hall, noon. Michael arrives for final rehearsals. He's limping, badly. His ankle is wrapped in so much tape, he can barely fit his foot in his shoe. Lavelle pulls him aside. "Michael, you can't perform like this." Michael's response, "I've performed in worse condition. We're doing this." But the ankle wasn't the only problem. Michael was severely dehydrated and exhausted. At 47, after 30 years of elite performing, his body was breaking down. One crew member said Michael looked gray that afternoon, like all the color had drained from his face. They did one final run-through. Michael fell, twice. Not dramatic falls, his ankle just gave out. The dancers rushed to help. Michael waved them off. "I'm fine. Let's run it again." They ran it again. Michael fell again. Dancers went to the producers. "This isn't safe. Michael needs medical attention." They called Michael's doctor. The doctor examined the ankle. "You shouldn't perform. This needs surgery, not a dance routine." Michael's response, "Tape it tighter." They wrapped it so tight his foot went numb, but at least he could stand. At 7:30 p.m., 30 minutes before showtime, Michael gathered the dancers. "I know I'm not 100%, but you are. So when I can't give it my all, you give it yours. Make this performance legendary." Beautiful sentiment, massive burden. Because now, if it failed, it wouldn't be Michael's fault. It would be theirs. 8 p.m., lights down. Slash from Guns N' Roses plays the intro. Michael emerges through pyrotechnics. The crowd erupts. For 90 seconds, it's fine. Then comes the first major choreography section. Michael plants his right foot to spin. His ankle buckles. He doesn't fall, but his face shows pure agony. The dancers adjust, moving closer to support him. Michael waves them off. The performance continues. Dangerous section. Michael's supposed to do rapid spins. He does one, then stops. The dancers keep going, trying to cover, but you can see the confusion. Lavelle later said, "We rehearsed for 6 weeks. every step was locked in. Then, during the actual performance, Michael started improvising because he physically couldn't do what we'd rehearsed. The dancers had to improvise too. In real time, on live TV, in front of hundreds of millions, one dancer missed her cue completely. She was watching Michael, trying to figure out what he was doing next. The cameras caught her standing still. Michael saw it. Even in pain, Michael saw it. His expression changed. Disappointment. The thriller section was supposed to be the climax, but Michael could barely stand. He attempted the moonwalk. It looked like a shuffle. He attempted a spin. Nearly fell. The dancers surrounded him, propping him up, making it look intentional. Anyone watching closely could see this wasn't the performance Michael envisioned. This was a man fighting through pain, supported by dancers desperately trying to save the moment. The performance ended. The crowd cheered because it was Michael Jackson. Even at 50%, he was better than most at 100%. But Michael knew the truth. The second Michael walked off stage, he collapsed. Literally. His dancers caught him. His ankle had swollen to twice its size. The tape had cut off circulation so severely his foot was purple. They cut the shoe off, cut the bandages off. Michael was rushed to a medical room, and this is where it gets emotional. Once the adrenaline wore off, Michael started crying. Not from physical pain, from regret. He kept saying, "I let you down. I let everyone down." The dancers tried to reassure him. "Michael, you were incredible." But Michael had watched the monitors backstage. He'd seen the mistakes. The improvisation, he blamed himself. One dancer said, "We'd never seen Michael like that. He was always so confident." But that night, he was broken. Several dancers were crying too, not because the performance was bad, but because they'd watched someone they admired push himself to collapse. MTV loved it. The media loved it. Fans loved it. But Michael didn't. Around 11 p.m., after treatment, Michael called a meeting with all the dancers. He apologized. He said he pushed too hard, asked too much. "I was so focused on being perfect that I forgot to be smart, and I'm sorry." It was a rare moment of vulnerability. Travis Payne said, "That's when I realized how much pressure Michael put on himself, and we just got caught in the crossfire." Michael said he was taking a month off. No performances, no rehearsals. And for once, nobody argued. In the months after, Michael's perspective evolved. At first, he refused to watch the performance. Eventually, he did. And watching it changed him. He saw what the dancers saw. Professionals saving a moment that could have been a disaster. He saw their quick thinking, their loyalty. Karen Faye, his makeup artist, said, Michael told her, "I learned more from that performance than any other in my career." What did he learn? That perfection isn't the goal. Connection is. That pushing through pain isn't brave. It's reckless. That the people around you aren't there to execute your vision. They're there to collaborate. Over the next few years, Michael's approach changed. He still rehearsed intensely, but he listened to his body, took breaks, allowed modifications. He involved dancers in the creative process, asked for input, valued their expertise. Lavelle said, after 95, Michael became a better collaborator, still demanding, but more human. The 95 VMAs became a turning point, not for his career, but for Michael as a person. He learned that vulnerability isn't weakness, that asking for help isn't failure, and that the people who love you will carry you when you can't carry yourself. The dancers from that performance remained close to Michael until 2009. They don't remember it as a failure. They remember it as the night Michael Jackson became human, the night the king of pop admitted he wasn't invincible, and the night his dancers proved they loved him anyway. That's the story. The one performance Michael Jackson regretted not because it was bad, but because it taught him about limits, vulnerability, and trust. The dancers rarely talk about it, but when they do, they all say the same thing. They do it again in a heartbeat, because that's what you do for someone you believe in. If this showed you a new side of Michael, subscribe to the King of Pop and hit that notification bell. Let us know in the comments, What's your favorite Michael Jackson performance? Stay tuned for more content. Long live the king. That's the story. The one performance Michael Jackson regretted, not because it was bad, but because it taught him about limits, vulnerability, and trust. The dancers rarely talk about it, but when they do, they all say the same thing. They do it again in a heartbeat, because that's what you do for someone you believe in. Let us know in the comments. What's your favorite Michael Jackson performance? Stay tuned for more content. Long live the king.